Hey, welcome back, everybody. If you're new, my name's Nicholas, and this is Investing Against the Grain. Different scenery, as you guys can imagine. I'm on my honeymoon right now. As you can tell, I got married, so got the ring and everything. So, cheers to us, cheers to all of you, cheers to life, I guess, in general. I want to hop on today to make a quick video. Again, it's going to be very quick. The idea is really just to talk about something that was on my mind. I felt inspired. Maybe it has to do with a couple glasses of champagne. But before we go out to dinner tonight, I want to talk about some things that, I just kind of felt inspired, and I felt like I want to get this message out across. And I think it's a message about how to find good investments. And again, before I kick off, none of this financial advice. I am a engineer by work, trade, degree, whatever you want. I'm financially independent. I'm lucky enough to live this life, have a beautiful wife now, be out here in Mykonos for our honeymoon. So, I'm very lucky, very fortunate. So don't take any of this as me telling you what to do. I'm just sharing you my journey, and maybe you can take a nugget from this and apply it to your own life if it resonates and it, provides value for you. So with all those asterisks and caveats accounted for, I want to talk about two things I think about when it comes to finding very good and rare investments. And really, I want to lean on the second one. But the first one that I tend to focus on is by looking out and seeing what kids are talking about. What are they interested in these days? Right? I have two little brothers. One is 5 years old. The other one's 9, almost 10 on October 1st. So literally tomorrow, or in 2 days, October 1st will be his birthday. And if you just looked at them, they talk about Tesla, they talk about Roblox, right? Like if you look at the things that they talk about, kids, young teenagers, preteens, that's where trends tend to go. And those are very early signs of potentially a very good investment. Now, take that, put that to the side, because the second one I want to talk about is really what I want to focus on in this video. And essentially what I want to focus on is something that I haven't really ever been able to put into words as eloquently as I recently heard from Chamath Palihapitiya. I think that's how you say it. I'm not great at it, but I'm a big fan of Chamath. I'm a big fan of the All In podcast. And something that he was able to really verbalize in a way that I've never been able to say so succinctly really resonated with me the other day. And I want to talk about it. Essentially, the premise is to invest in companies that are taking expense items and moving it into revenue producing profit items. Take a listen to this clip and then let's talk about it.
That companies can get rewarded in the public markets is if you look at your costs and you flip them from a cost or an expense into revenue. And the gold standard is Amazon. So if you guys look back, I'll just give you a very quick example because it's incredible. In 2005, year-end 2005 Amazon, they had $8.5 billion of sales, $2 billion of net profit. Their two biggest costs there was product and shipping. So what did they do? They started Amazon Kindle, they started Amazon Basics, they started Amazon Fire, they started Amazon Echo, and all of a sudden, that whole thing shrank, their gross margins went up. Then on the operating expense side, Amazon was spending 6% of revenue on fulfillment. They started a fulfillment business. They were spending 5% of revenue on technology. They started AWS. They were spending 2% of revenue on marketing. They started Amazon Prime. They were spending 2% on payment processing. They started Amazon Payments. So if you look at any company like this, if you can see folks acquiring adjacent features, or if you can see folks taking expense lines and turning them into revenue lines, these are, in my opinion, sure bet companies that compound forever in the public.
Now, if you just heard that and that didn't really resonate with you, I urge you to listen to it again, because I think the way he verbalized it, the way he vocalized it, it's extremely profound. It's very heavy if you really think about it. And in his example, he referred to Amazon, but I challenge you to take that and apply it to Tesla. Okay, Tesla saw the same thing. They had these expenses with regards to manufacturing, with regards to supply chains. And what they do? Well, they decided they'll manufacture their own seats. They decided they'll manufacture their own sound system. They decided, you know what, forget about those PCB boards or programmable control boards. If you don't know, those green boards with all the resistors and capacitors in them. They decided, you know what, we'll make those in-house instead. They decide, you know what, we're going to do Tesla insurance. They decide, you know what, we're going to develop our own silicon AI chips for our FSD product, right? They just kept doing all this vertical integration over and over. You know what, we're going to produce our own metals, our own alloys, right? It's just insane what they're doing. But Tesla is doing this. Hey, we're going to make our own batteries. It's this vertical integration. They're taking expense line items and they're making it into revenue generating items. And like Chamath said, these are companies that will compound in the public markets forever, right? They essentially create these moats upon moats that you just can't get out of. And so I just want to hop on because I heard this. I've never been able to vocalize this so well. And it sometimes it takes. It seems so easy when you hear Chamath say it, like such a simple concept, but these complicated ideas and abstract ideas tend to be very difficult to simplify and distill them into simplicity. And hearing Chamath the other day say this, it's just, I had bells ringing in my head. I saw this video yesterday. And, after a couple glasses of champagne, I was talking to I almost said fiance, to my wife about this. And I was like, you know what? I got to hop on. I just got to talk about it. Even if it's a, 7-minute video, I got to hop on and I want to get this out there. I want more people to know about this, more people to hear about this. When you're looking for great investments, when I'm looking for great investments, these are the things I'm looking at. And so you can put the first category, what are the kids doing? What are the trends going? What's becoming popular? Because for some reason, kids know things before we do. But the second thing is this idea of taking expense line items and turning that into revenue generating items for the company. If you can find companies like that, you are probably going to have an amazing investment on your hands. Now, as you all know, I'm all in on Tesla. All right. I have everything in Tesla. I have over 7 figures in Tesla. Tesla is my only investment outside of real estate. And I think Tesla does this probably better than just about anybody. Chamath talked about Amazon, but focusing on Tesla, Tesla is either the best or the second best at doing this, taking these items, line items that are an expense column and moving them into the revenue generating column, into the profit column. They're getting into batteries. Looks like they might be getting into lithium refining. I mean, it just goes on and on. Essentially, wherever the bottleneck is, wherever the problem is, Tesla will get into it. And keep in mind, we've only just talked about the vehicle. We've only talked about the vehicle. We haven't even talked about everything else. We haven't talked about energy. We haven't talked about bot. We haven't talked about AI. We haven't talked about subscriptions, right? So it's just mind-blowing when you really start to think about it and take Chamath's words and apply it to Tesla. All right, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my honeymoon, but I had to hop on and just share this with you guys because I kind of just had an inspiration, this moment of I need to get this out there to all of you. All right, I love you all. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys when I get back to the States. Peace.